we went to New York. It was fun. We didn't get to do a lot of the things we wanted to do, but considering the time we had and the time we actually got back to the hotel in order to be able to sleep and get good rest, I think we did a good it was an enjoyable trip. So my dad and I are both photographers, so we had already decided that at some point, because of his work, you know, we get to travel a bit more. We knew for a fact that at some point throughout this year we were going to be able to drive or be near NYC. So once we actually arrived here, which is about a week ago, we are staying in Maryland right now. And we're staying somewhere that isn't that far from Baltimore. Yeah, so we decided to finally make our trip to NYC, specifically with the idea that we wanted to practice street photography, which I have a love and hate because I'm obviously not the confrontational type. I've gotten more comfortable with it. I've definitely had more time this year to practice street photography. I don't know, I watch a lot of videos. For example, my dad loves to watch videos of this one guy, I forgot his name, I'll put him right here. I think he does something on YouTube called the Walkie Talkies, and my dad loves watching those videos, and we get to listen to a lot of different types of street photographers and, you know, see how they shoot. And I feel as if a lot of street photographers always have that, like, an intuition or like the need to go out and shoot, and I don't feel like I have that naturally. But saying that, and considering the times I have gotten out to shoot street photography, I feel like that's definitely an itch that has been developing within myself as a photographer. So I don't think it's natural for me to want to go out and take pictures, but it's definitely now, like, if I go to a city that I know is going to be, you know, hella cool, I feel worse if I'm walking around and I'm not being able to take pictures, if that makes sense. Considering that we had to plan our trip, okay? Well, I'm not a city person. I grew up in like North Carolina, like a little town, Ixmiquilpan, Hidalgo. So it's like I don't know anything about the city. I don't know anything about the transit. So I was Googling hard. So I definitely wanted to find out how we were gonna get there, and then specifically what areas we wanted to see. You know, focusing this trip really on street photography. I spent a lot of time on Pinterest blogs, YouTube, maybe some Reddit posts. Don't judge me. Trying to find like what places worth seeing. I know there's a lot, like, I know there's never enough to see in the city. So yeah, I wanted to plan, and I did write some things down in my little journal, you know, upon the places we wanted to hit. You know, I'm considering how it would look in pictures and whether or not I would enjoy taking pictures there. I planned and I created my list basically on Google Maps. So this is how we were gonna try to do things. This was our plan of things we wanted to see. We wanted to start at the bottom and then like work our way up, sort of, kinda. We were gonna start by Dumbo, or the Dumbo area, then from there go on to the Brooklyn Bridge, then from there take the ferry to Staten Island, then walk to Stone Street, Wall Street, the financial district, which is pretty much the same, I think. I'm not sure. Then from there, the World Trade Center, Chinatown, Soho, Washington Square Park, and then, you know, around there walk a little bit more. Harry Potter store, because it's aesthetic. And then from there, Grand Central Terminal, and then we wanted to finish off at Central Park, and then from there just go back through the subway and, you know, start heading our way back. So that was our plan. Obviously we weren't able to finish it all. but it's okay. Yeah, so that was our plan. Then the decision was whether or not to leave from Baltimore, because I know there's a train that leaves from Baltimore to NYC, or take the train from somewhere a little bit more near and just drive. We decided to drive up to Newark. I don't know what to call it. Newark, I think. I thought it was New Jersey, but now I'm confused. I don't know. I'm confused. I've been through so many states at this point. I'm like so out of it. We were trying to leave at 4:30 by waking up at 4. We did not. We ended up leaving by 5, which is okay. So we left by 5, and our drive there was actually, well, I didn't drive, my dad drove. I'm not comfortable driving over here that much yet. I'm kind of stressed out. I will say, I was talking about how you can't really differentiate the states. Well, I lied. You can differentiate the states by how people drive on the roads and your roads. South Carolina, I'm calling you out. You have the suckiest roads out. I'm just kidding. I'm kind of scared a little bit by Maryland people and their driving, as well as going, driving up north to New Jersey and New York. I'm not doing that. So my dad drove. Okay, so our plan was to take the PATH train. I'm probably gonna mess up a whole bunch of this information. So if you need information on how to get there, don't listen to anything I'm about to say because we barely know. But this is how we kind of got around. We watched a few videos and we learned that there's a train called PATH, or the PATH train, that takes you to the World Trade Center or Penn Station, like New York Penn Station. We ended up getting confused and we were trying to go to the World Trade Center because I'm pretty sure it gets you closer to the Dumbo area, which is where we wanted to start walking in. We ended up getting on the wrong train, so we were striving to get on the train that was gonna take us to the World Trade Center, but we got on the train that takes us to New York Penn Station, and it was the wrong ticket. There was this guy, going around the train, I guess like poking the holes in the tickets or whatever, and we didn't have the correct one, but he let us go. Like he was chill about it, so he was like, it's the wrong train, ya ni modos. Like so anyways, the train was really nice. Well, not really nice, but nicer than the one that took us back, or rather the one that we were supposed to take. So this train took us to New York Penn Station or something. So, but we were okay, or at least we thought. No, I'm just kidding. No, so we took the train. I'm trying to recall my thoughts of it. I cannot remember for we got off the train, and then from there we immediately went out just to get a glimpse of the city. The city was cute, very cute. It was cold. I'm actually pretty sure it's just gonna keep getting colder and colder because we are in early November. So we got out. Obviously we're not trying to spend more time just walking around. We're trying to get to the Dumbo area. I had heard on TikTok and other videos I saw on YouTube, a lot of people that were recommending City Mapper, or an app called City Mapper. Hashtag not sponsored. By the way, but it did definitely help. So I would recommend to anybody who isn't used to taking the subway. It is not, well, at least me, and that might just be me. It was a little difficult to understand it, but considering I've gotten around airports, I think I'm fine. So with the help of that app, we were able to get on our right subway station, and then from there take a subway to Dumbo. Then once we finally got off to the Dumbo area, we were walking around really with nowhere to go. So we were trying to get to obviously the iconic Washington Street to get the view of the Brooklyn Bridge. So we were definitely walking towards somewhere we didn't know where. We were really just following City Mapper and Google Maps at this point, or must be in whatever we found visually attractive, because we're photographers and we get distracted by literally everything. We ended up walking a bit more and stumbled upon the Dumbo flea market, which was pretty cute, I will say. I didn't check the prices on anything because I'm assuming that it was gonna be really expensive. So at this point, we had our cameras out and we started, trying to find cool shots. Look, I love street photography, but I hate it at the same time. Definitely the first times I was taking photos, like street photography, when I was younger, it was like, I mean, being a teenager, I feel like just emits social anxiety. at least me as a teenager. I was like a walking social anxiety creature, literally like the Inside Out thing. Either way, considering that, I definitely think I've grown as a street photographer, so I'm not as afraid to be a little bit more confrontational with my shots. Also, considering my Pinterest board that I created for myself, also, if you don't follow me on Pinterest, be sure to follow me on there. I created this board for street photography and I really studied it as much as I could. Obviously I had pictures from various other photographers such as Vivian Mayer, I'm just gonna say Gary, Billy Din, I'm so bad at names, and others. Considering the people and the shots I had on my Pinterest board, I was seeing a lot of very good, I would consider them, and I might be wrong, but my opinion, this is my YouTube channel, so it's my opinion. In my opinion, I would consider them a little bit more documentary type shots, which means being quite close to a subject, getting more of the environment, having a closed aperture. And those are things that I have definitely not played around with because I am addicted to bokeh. And I'm addicted to 85, 135, 70 to 200 compression. I knew what I needed to do to get out of that addiction, and I obviously only brought with myself the 24mm and a 35mm. My dad and I were actually struggling to only bring those lenses with us because compression and bokeh. After that, anyways, I feel also that something I really wanted to work on was colors and contrast and environment. So I tried the 24 for a while, I think for the first half of the day, and I didn't end up liking it. I don't know what it was about. I don't know if it was my settings. I was shooting in manual basically the whole time, and something about it wasn't clicking. I don't know, it just wasn't, I don't know what it was, because it wasn't too wide. I actually liked, getting a bit more in of this scene, but I think I'm just the most comfortable with a 35mm. I think you get enough to where I don't need to be that wide. But anyways, I tried. Wasn't for me at that moment. Probably do still want to mess around with a 24mm. Just consider that most of the shots you're gonna see in this video was taken with my 35mm. So we were around the Dumbo flea market. There I took, I think, only one shot that I really liked, which was a black and white image with the Dumbo words in the background. And I was pretty, I don't think I had enough time to actually change my settings since I was shooting in manual. Which, also I could have just shot an aperture priority the whole time, but I don't know why I don't know, I didn't even think about that. I guess I was too excited to be in the city, to be honest with you. I was just like, I'm gonna shoot in manual for some reason. I don't know. Turned around, just took a quick shot. I like the image. I actually do like the image. Environment, I mean, I guess you can kind of see the environment of it being a flea market, but at the same time, you have obviously the Dumbo letters in the back, and then you have this subject looking down, and you can obviously tell that it's a human. So I don't know, I just really enjoy looking at it. I don't know, I'm really bad at analyzing my own pictures, but anyways, I actually didn't get a lot of shots that I liked in this trip, but at the same time, I'm trying to limit myself from even editing pictures that I don't like a lot. For this video, I did end up editing a few pictures that I would have never kept for myself, just to have images for the video. But I think I am limiting myself a little bit more to only save and share photos that I personally like, not that I think others will like, because it's my expression, it's my creativity, it's what I want to share with the world. From there, we decided to get a quick breakfast. Look, it was already late. This might have been on me, to be honest. I probably should have googled where to eat to have it saved on my Google Maps, but I didn't really consider where to eat, so we were kind of just walking around trying to find something, and we tried to go to 2 cafes and they were both really full. We ended up just walking and finding a sandwich shop, and we decided to get breakfast there. It was cool. We were people watching. Something I noticed looking out the window, that everybody seems to have the same exact coats and dogs. I'm just kidding. Well, I'm not kidding. Obviously not, but I did see a lot of coats, and cute coats. It was very cute. Loved the style that a lot of people seem to have. A lot of it is pretty much the same, not gonna lie. I don't know, considering that I'm in New York, I don't want to seem like I'm assuming things or stereotyping, but I am. So considering it's NYC, but obviously we were on the Dumbo area, so it's not really NYC. Yeah, I don't know, I was expecting a lot more people having unique fashion. I don't know, I wasn't expecting a lot of people to have basically the same style. I just thought it was interesting. Everybody had basically the same coats, the same dogs. Also, I don't know if it's because I miss Peachy, that she's back in Mexico. But a lot of the dogs look the same as Peachy. So like there's a lot of dachshunds. They're really cute. Also, it was really cold and a lot of people were walking their dogs, and a lot of, well, not even walking, dragging their dogs because they didn't want to walk anymore. Have you seen dachshunds? They have short little legs. They don't want, like, why? And then they didn't even have like little sweaters. At least put a little sweater on your dog, no? After eating breakfast, we decided to walk a little bit more around the area. The houses were really cute. I haven't really been around the rest of New York, so I'm kind of assuming off of what I've seen on social media that where we were around the Dumbo area was probably the chillest we're gonna find. The houses were really cute. A lot of people with their dogs just walking around. It was very chill, very, very chill, which I think it was good now looking back, because I'm pretty sure my dad and I are gonna try to make another trip, and I think this was a good experience, a pretty chill, just arriving to the chillest part of this city. See, I don't know, I might be confused. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong, and I might do a Google like right after this, if whether or not the Dumbo area is still considered part of NYC, which I'm pretty sure, I'm gonna assume that it's not, but it might, so I don't know. After walking around for a bit, we decided to start heading our way back to going across Brooklyn Bridge. For some reason, we got like really lost, and we were following Google Maps and everything, and we could not find the entrance to Brooklyn Bridge. We ended up walking through a park somewhere, I don't know, I'm not gonna give you directions. Somehow we made it to the entrance of the Brooklyn Bridge from our side, and started walking to the other side. We took our mighty time because it was cool. We were taking pictures. The lighting was amazing, by the way. I am a fan of harsh light. I don't know why some photographers don't enjoy it. I think it's the coolest type of light. I mean, you get that contrasty look. Sometimes you get lens flare, which I am also a fan of lens flare. I got quite a few shots on Brooklyn Bridge. I kind of liked it because everybody is kind of just focused on taking pictures of themselves, that they're not really focused on anybody really taking pictures of them. So I was kind of just going off taking pictures of everybody. No confrontation needed. Either way, just getting off the bridge, I got probably my favorite picture of the whole trip, which was I saw this like gap of light in between some buildings, and it was hitting people walking right in front of me so beautifully, and I kind of just stood there trying to find a subject, and this lady ended up walking in front of my camera by accident, and I accidentally took a photo of it, and I accidentally, got a sun flare, and I accidentally edited it on Lightroom, and I accidentally am putting it on the screen, and it turned out accidentally super cool. So I love that picture. After we got off the Brooklyn Bridge, we decided to start walking towards where the ferries depart to go to Staten Island. We were still considerably a little bit far away from where we needed to be, but because we are focusing on street photography here, we still decided to walk all the way over there to take some pictures along the way. So at that point, it was already pretty late, so we walked around a bit. We took a bit more pictures. Didn't really get a lot of pictures that I necessarily liked there or loved. But it was a nice walk. The city was pretty chill. Nothing very crazy happened, nothing hectic. I don't know, for some reason, I think we got lucky on how chill the day was, to be honest with you. But either way, once we actually made it to where the ferries depart from, it was already 4 p.m. and we had already told ourselves that we were going to try to go back to where we parked our car from the Newark Penn Station at least by, I think, 5:30 or 5. So by then it was already late. A lot of people were already trying to get back home, through the ferry. So I kind of just felt a little bit bad taking up space, I think, from taking the ferry. Also, there was a lot of people. And our plan was to get from the Dumbo area onto Brooklyn Bridge, and then from there walk to the ferry and be on the ferry by at least the morning time. I guess we didn't consider how much time we were actually gonna take, just walking around taking pictures, which time passes by really quick when you're having fun, right? So we decided not to get on the ferry that day, and leave it for another day. So we ended up taking a subway from literally the station right there. It was literally outside the building, which was pretty cool for us, so yay. We got on the subway and it took us to World Trade Center. So at that point, I put up my camera and just kind of decided to take video. Also, my hand was getting already pretty tired. My legs were on fire. I think we ended up taking 27,000 steps, which is a lot. Also, I want to say there was a marathon going on that day, and we had no idea about. If I had known that there was a marathon going on throughout the city, we totally would have gone to where they were passing through to take some pictures, but we didn't know. Maybe I'm not a good Googler, okay? Because I didn't know. So, So I'm over here talking about 27k steps when they did a whole marathon throughout the city, which is crazy. Good for them, and good for anybody who finished that, because couldn't have been me. Nah. So anyways, we made it to the World Trade Center, and we got out, and we were able to experience sunset in the city, which is pretty cool. Also, it was daylight savings or something. I had totally forgotten about that. And we ended up getting our sunset really early, like at 5. So I had gone with my family to New York City when I was a kid. We went around Christmas time, so it was really busy. I don't remember a lot. My parents took my sister and I to Disneyland, and we cannot remember anything. But at least we went, you know? So I don't have a lot of memories from going to New York City, except going to Grand Central Station and some Christmas decorations. I remember seeing some ice skaters in Central Park, and obviously the Statue of Liberty. But besides that, I could not remember anything else. So really, it was really packed because it was Christmas, you know, NYC, you know, early 2000s. It wasn't the cutest time to be there, I don't think. So we definitely weren't able to enjoy it as much as my dad would have wanted us to. I think this trip was pretty cute, you know. We spent a bit more time just walking around there. My dad was still taking pictures, I was taking videos. There wasn't a lot of people. At some point we were ready to go back to Newark, but we were like, okay, we're in NYC and we're not gonna get pizza. Yeah. So I googled the nearest pizza shop for a slice of pizza. Joe's Pizza was actually not that far from where we were, but considering it was Sunday, I kinda didn't want to go, and it was farther than the pizza shop I had found on Google Maps. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna go to the nearest one. So we ended up going to Norm's pizza shop. It was good. We got a slice of pizza. My dad got a Coke. That was basically it. Overall experience, it was cool. We are definitely going to want to go back at some point to finish everything else I had on my list, right? So, you know, at least go to the touristy parts of it. Not a lot of indoor things I have on my list because, again, street photography. There will be a next time, maybe not near future, but definitely in the future. Pues ni modo, es que no pass by that. Oh my god. So but at some we know we're gonna make another trip focusing a little bit more on indoor things like museums, because I'm such a museum fan. Yeah, definitely just more indoor things, but for now we're trying to focus more just on walking around, street photography, you know, food, anything chill. So yeah, that was a cool experience, and hopefully we'll be able to go back and pick up where we left off. But until then, this is all I have for you guys. So have a good day, and thanks so much for watching. Subscribe if you want to, if you'd like. Follow my Instagram. Yeah, it's I post photos. Follow my Pinterest. Also, if you're a street photographer and you only want to see street photos of mine, make sure to follow me on my portrait mode, okay? It's an app, also not sponsored by the way. I think it's cool. I'm still messing around with it. It's a photographer's app just based around street photography, so it is quite cool. I have been finding a lot of cool photographers and photos, so it's just cool. It doesn't use hashtags or anything. It's just based on categories, so you post and then you get to choose what categories your photograph fits in, and then from there you get exposure. It's obviously not an app for like trying to gain followers and things like that. It's genuinely, well, I'm considering it an app to just grow creatively. So I'm liking it so far. So if you're a street photographer, definitely get the app. And if you want, follow me on there too. So, yeah, until next time.